Hi there, my name is Melissa and we're going to be going through a Skydance S2 install today. To find the install manual, you can go to the PERGOLUX app or you can go to www.pergolux.app. Before you start, you're going to want to make sure you have your waterproof silicone caulk and the anchoring hardware that you're going to need to bolt it to the ground. This is not included in the Pergola kit. For this installation, you'll need a mallet, an Allen wrench kit, a ladder, a tape measure, a level, a ratchet set, a drill, a set of normal bits, and a set of torque safety bits. The B box is the beams, the C box is the columns, and the L boxes are louvers. Beams 1 and 2 in the manual are the front and back of the pergola. The beams marked as 3 and 4 in the manual are the side beams.
The control box, motor, remote, LED wire, and power cord are in the side beam behind the access panel. Take out the LED wire, motor, remote, and power cord before continuing to the install.
The base plates are found in the C box with the columns. The rest of the hardware is in the B box. For orientation purposes, if you're standing in front of your pergola looking at the back beam, which is the one with the motor attachment, the louvers are going to open from right to left. The column is split into 3 compartments. One is for water drainage and one is for electrical wiring. Your power is designed to come out of the left back column.
First, feed the power cord through the column down the smaller compartment, making sure the plug comes out of the bottom where there is a smaller opening.
Make sure you do this before attaching the base plate, since it will be difficult to add or remove the power cord after the base plates are installed. Place the side beam with the access panel next to the column with the power cord. The control box should be inside the beam behind the access panel. You can take the access panel cover off if needed. Connect the control box wire that says AC input and the power cord using the quick connect. Then attach the side beam with the access panel to the column with the power cord using 3 of the number 26 screws.
Remember to apply the included lubricant to the screws.
Attach another column to the other side of the same beam. Now attach the base plates to the columns. We recommend using the included lubricant to coat the screws, which will prevent binding and cold welding with the aluminum. To make it easy, line up the sharp corner edge of the base plate with the corner of the column opposite from the water drainage hole. You'll use the number 25 bolt for the center hole of the base plate and the number 24 screws for the rest. Make sure the countersink holes are facing out. Notice there is one large opening for water drainage and one smaller opening for electrical wiring on each column. You can attach all 4 base plates to the columns.
Place the side beam with the access panel next to the column with the power cord. The control box should be inside the beam behind the access panel. Connect the control box wire that says AC input and the power cord using the quick connect. You can take the access panel cover off if needed.
Now, you'll repeat the same process for the second side beam and the last 2 columns, using the number 26 bolts from the A4 bag. Next, stand up both of the side beams and columns. You'll need a few extra pair of hands, and then have another 1 or 2 people place the back beam on the columns, attaching with the number 26 bolts from the A4 bag. Last, set up your ladders at each front column and walk the front beam up the ladders and attach at both corners using the number 26 screws from the A4 bag. Congrats, you have your frame in place. Next, take the plastic corner pieces labeled number 12 from the A5 bag and place at each corner. We recommend applying waterproof sealant or caulk before you secure this in place. Dip the A5 screws in the included lubricant. You'll use 3 per corner. Next, use the waterproof sealant or caulk on both edges of the plastic gutter corners and then place your gutters. They will hook under the lip on the beam and then snap down into place. Do this at each corner. Then, you'll cover the seam at each corner with the number 13 part and use the number 27 screws to secure it in place. These are from the A3 bag. You can use the waterproof caulk on the seam before you secure the plastic part in place. Now it's time to attach the motor. The bolts for the clamp are pre-installed. Remove the center bolts from both sides of the clamp. Then, slide the clamp over the motor arm. The end of the motor with the wire will be closest to the access panel. Make sure the countersink holes are facing you. Tighten the center bolts, then the two side bolts. The clamp should be positioned at the middle of the motor arm. Secure the clamp mechanism to the back beam with the bolts from the A3 bag, attaching to the 3 pre-drilled holes in the beam. From bag A1, take the number 17 part, which is the arm that connects the motor to the louvers. The number 33 non-threaded bolt will slide through the 2 holes on the end of the arm and fasten in place with the pin. Then take the number 16 bracket from the A1 bag and attach to the beam at the pre-drilled holes near the top of the beam. The spacer will go between the bracket and the louver arm, and the longer threaded bolt, part 32 in the manual, will attach from the front to the beam. Attach the end of the number 16 bracket to the 2 smaller pre-drilled holes in the beam using the number 26 bolts, all included in the A1 bag. Now take the number 19 part from the A2 bag, the smaller bracket, and attach to the right-hand side of the louver arm that's attached to the beam. Install it with the short bolt, then the spacer, then the bracket, all attaching through the larger hole on the smaller bracket. Now you're going to take the LED wire that was in the beam and lay it in the channel of the top of the back beam over the notches for the louvers. Refer to the manual to identify which notches will have the LED wire to connect to the LED louvers. Connect the motor wire to the control box wire labeled motor and connect the LED wire to the control box wire labeled LED. Make sure the connections are tight before closing the quick connects. There are 3 different types of louvers for Skydance models. The standard louver has a lip on both sides and no LED. The LED louver has a lip on both sides and has the LED strip in the middle. There is always one unique louver that only has the lip on one side and no LED. This is the last louver you place. The install manual will indicate where the LED louvers should be placed. To install the louvers, you're going to start from the left with one of the standard louvers. Insert the pin on the front beam first, then simply click in the other side on the back beam. The side on the back beam will have a hole for the louver to connect to the steering rail later in the install. Follow the sequence indicated in the install manual for the rest of the louvers. The LED louvers are shown in the manual with a highlighted part number and icon. The last louver you install is the unique louver with only one lip. We're getting there. Now it's time to place the corner plates on the top of each column using part number 14 and the number 27 screws from the A8 bag. Use the lubricant for these screws. Now take the number 39 plastic clips from the A9 bag and press them into place over each louver pin on the back beam to secure them into place. There's a little bit of a lip on one side. That is the edge that is going to be facing towards the inside of the pergola. Insert the number 15 metal strip from the beam box above the louver pins on the back beam. Secure it in place with the number 27 screw found in bag A9. Now for the fun part, attaching each louver to the steering rail.
Using the number 38 parts from bag A10, you will attach the bolt and nut in the sequence: bolt, small spacer, longer spacer, steering rail, large, thin spacer, louver, nut. You can tighten this by hand or with a 10mm wrench and a 5/32 hex bit. The steering rail has holes in the middle that are countersunk. These should be facing outward, and all the holes should be at the top of the steering rail. Use the number 37 bolt and the number 28 nut from the A2 bag to attach the steering rail to the louver arm bracket. These should also be tightened.
Once you've confirmed that everything is level, you can mount your pergola to the ground using the anchoring hardware you purchased before installation. Congratulations, you're finished with your pergola install. Now you can sit back and relax under the PERGOLUX and enjoy it for years to come. Welcome to the PERGOLUX fam.